So, today I received a bunch of DMs from people, and I saw a lot of folks talking about what was going on with the Detroit Red Wings. And for good reason here, man. Earlier this morning, we finally had ourselves the Detroit Red Wings end of season, media availability. With Todd McClellan and Steve Y, it was a 1 hour long broadcast that was on the Detroit Red Wings YouTube channel. It's all over there if you want to go out there and watch it yourself. It was streamed live about 3 hours ago. And because it's a 1 hour long thing, there's literally 1 hour's worth of content in here. But aside the Red Wings plan and aside the Red Wings expectations, what the Red Wings accomplished this season, as well as some other things, I wanted to dive into one particular question and answer that was shared in this video. And yeah, people were messaging me talking about this. I got quite a few messages about it. Because at the 28-ish minute mark of the press conference, Steve Yzerman was asked about former Detroit Red Wing and current Edmonton Oiler defenseman Jake Walman. And the question was in response to Walman's situation, wherein he was sent over from Detroit to San Jose. The Red Wings paid a draft pick to get rid of Walman. Walman has a really strong season with San Jose, and then he gets traded to Edmonton for a first. The question on the broadcast is, can you shed a little bit of insight on Walman, and do you regret the trade? And before the reporter even finishes asking the question, Yzerman says no and no. He puts his water bottle down, no and no. He's very firm with the way he does not want to shed insight on Jake Walman. It's interesting. The conversation is no and no. Then the reporter asks, no and no? Yzerman's like, no and no. And he's like, okay. And then there's a little bit of silence. It kind of drags on for a bit, and then Stevie Y is like, yeah, I'm not going to elaborate on it, sorry. Follow-up question from the crowd is, why? Why will you not elaborate it? And Stevie Y says, I choose not to. There are some things I don't want to share with you. That's it. That is all Yzerman has to say on Jake Walman, and that was the biggest thing that I think people have taken away from this press conference so far. I mean, the Grindline folks made themselves a post on Twitter that is really, really long. It essentially encapsulates all 1 hour's worth of the content from the interview itself, but I wanted to specifically talk about the Jake Walman thing. We can dive into the Red Wings and their mentality and what their plans are and what the expectations are for the prospects and whether or not there were other things the Wings could have done, but I wanted to specifically focus on Yzerman and Walman. Because Walman has been such an intriguing story from last season up until this season, with the gritty goals and everybody talking about him paired with Mo Seider and how he was honestly quite beloved in that role. To see him firstly get traded, that in and of itself was already kind of ridiculous, but to see him get traded for nothing, to see the Red Wings attach on, a second round pick in 2024 to get rid of Walman, that was a ridiculous transaction. A lot of folks were saying, hey, you paid a pick to get rid of this guy. You could have just put him on waivers for free, and you would have accomplished the same thing. You trade players away because you don't want him on your team. Okay, fine, but why are you trading away a player who has positive value? Walman then went over to San Jose and had the season that he had. As we had said, he had 32 points in 50 games. He was a point-producing machine. He had a career high in points in only 50 games played. And that was in one team. He had 40 points on the year in total, 65 total games. So definitely a career season for Jake Walman in a year where he gets flipped with assets for nothing. And the San Jose Sharks utilize him so well that the Oilers are like, hey, we want him. We'll give you a first for him. Now Walman is in the playoffs with Edmonton. It's a 2-2 series. It's, pretty good. But still, Jake Walman, there's no reasonable rationale that you can make with the information that we have at our disposal, with everything that we know, everything that we saw, everything that we understand about Walman as a player. in Detroit, in other situations, in the AHL, in St. Louis, now in San Jose and Edmonton, everything that we know about this guy, there isn't really a justifiable reason to trade him away for nothing, let alone with a draft pick. So there has to have been something behind the scenes, some sort of an argument or a moment or a confrontation or anything along those lines. There has to have been something. Stevie Y has to have had something against this guy. He's a valuable player. He went for a first. The Red Wings had an opportunity to take this asset and get a first for themselves, but they said, nah, sorry, we'll give him away for free with a second. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people responding to the entire press conference as well with more of a critical eye. Actually, maybe not eye. Critical ear. Because a lot of folks have gone out there and said, hey, like, is it me or was Yzerman's kind of attitude and personality, was it a little bit more shut off or was it a little bit more confrontational, antagonistic in a way? These are all just words that we're tossing out there, but I did see these words get brought up when it comes to talking about Yzerman. It doesn't seem like he was very satisfied with the way the team performed this year, and from that, you can tell that some expectations were not met, and he was definitely being a little bit pouty in the press conference. Especially in the way he answered the Jake Walman question. He's just kind of smug. He's kind of smiling a little bit, smirking a little bit. Not to say like, yeah, I regret it, I messed up. But there's a very kind of, I know something you don't know type of attitude that's being displayed when Stevie Y answers questions about Jake Walman. Maybe I'm just getting too deep into it. Maybe it's unnecessary to really think about the inner workings of Steve Yzerman's brain when seeing what goes on in a press conference at the end of the season, but still, I did find it interesting. And we can talk more about what Yzerman said over the next few days here. I just wanted to talk about Walman, because that was particularly the headline that I think most people took from the presser. It's an hour long, but everybody's talking about, oh, Jake Walman, he didn't want to answer this question about Jake Walman. It's crazy. For such a short moment in the entire 1 hour long video, I feel like that is the moment that everybody is focusing on the most. It has the most upvotes on Reddit, and people are posting about it on Twitter. People are trying to egg it on. Oh, what happened? What happened? But like, at the same time, I think, to end off this video, I'll say that it's good, in general, that Stevie Y doesn't want to go out there and throw anybody under the bus. Like, from the information that we have, there has to have been something that happened, and we don't know. But if whatever happened was so bad that the Red Wings are willing to trade away Walman for free with a draft pick, then it's kind of good on Yzerman for not choosing to air out a player's dirty laundry and throw him under the bus. We saw similar things with Yakemchuk, like, hey, Yzerman doesn't really make somebody look bad publicly, so I could at least respect that. We just don't really know what happened, though. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Steve Yzerman's bizarre response to the Jake Walman trade, and finally speaking out about how the Red Wings traded him with a pick and the Sharks traded him for a pick. Is there anything else that you want to talk about in regards to the presser? Because we can make videos all off-season long about Yzerman's perspective and the Red Wings, pretty much. I think later on I want to talk about the trade deadline. That's also going to be a fun topic. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Red Wings and Stevie Y. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.